Okay, I am here with Russ Streiner from the original cult classic Night of the Living Dead. How are you doing today?
Stephen, I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. How was it like playing Johnny in the original cult classic Night of the Living Dead?
It was quite a treat for me. In addition to playing the character Johnny, I also co-produced the film with Carl Hardman, and obviously George Romero was the director. And it gave me an opportunity to say the very famous line from Johnny, "They're coming to get you, Barbara," which a lot of people get a kick out of, and it's been a lot of fun over the years just being Russ Streiner and Johnny.
Do you love saying the line from the film?
Sure, it's become Johnny and that line have become kind of connected to one another. So it's always a treat to say.
To me, when I watch the movie, well, I've watched it multiple times. When I watch the movie, I see like when you're teasing Barbara in the scene. That scene is very to me, it's very scary. And I guess that's more or less how y'all intended it to be, I would assume, because in the movie's it's a beautifully shot film. I think throughout the movie, though, I think it's got creepy aspects throughout the whole thing.
Well, obviously, George Romero and I were partners for 10 years before we made Night of the Living Dead, and we were always concerned about what does it look like, what does it sound like. And finally, with the restoration, the beautiful restoration, the film now looks like we had always hoped it would look and how it would always sound. So we appreciate people like you who comment on the fact of how attractive it looks, because that was one of the things that
Have you watched the colored version of it, or have you saw the colored version of the one that you all did? Because it's floating around on YouTube. You can actually watch the black and white and the color version on there.
I have not seen it where you can switch back and forth between the two. I have not seen that, but I know that there is a colorized version, but I still prefer the original black and white. We did, however, George and I and John Russo remade Night of the Living Dead in 1990. And I played a much smaller part in that. I played the sheriff.
I remember that version. Have you saw that version completely, the whole thing of that?
I produced it.
Right. So, which one do you like, the remake version, or you prefer the original?
I prefer the original, but
right.
I like the color version, but I prefer the original.
Yeah, this is you right here. Do you have any of your props or anything from the set? Like, do you still have your glove or whatever?
I do have gloves, but they're not the original. Unfortunately, I don't have any props or costumes. That, let's face it, that was 54 years ago.
Right.
And most of that stuff just isn't around anymore.
Time has definitely held up, ain't it?
It certainly has, because of people like you. Thank you, Stephen.
Thank you, and thank you for taking your time to speak with me.
Sure enough.